Okay, hi. So today we're going to be multiplying or dividing rational expression, right? So in this case, I want to start multiplying those two rational expressions, but before I multiply, I want to simplify anything that I can simplify, so it's easier for us to multiply. So I'm going to start by factoring each space right here. So my first one, x. Now I'm looking for two numbers that you multiply and give you 10, and you add and give you 7 or negative 7. In this case, it's minus 5, minus 2. And on the denominator, this is two numbers that you multiply and give you 12, and you subtract and give you 4. So this is x minus x plus 6, x minus 2 times. My common factor here is 3. So I have 3x plus 6 divided by x plus 3, right? So before we start canceling out, I want to find my restrictions right here. So anything that is on the denominator, I'm going to equal to 0, right? Because my denominators cannot equal to 0. So x plus 3 equals 0. We're going to keep that for later, right? So now I can cancel and simplify anything that I can simplify. I can either simplify on the same fraction or I can cross simplify, right? I can never simplify on the same space, right? I cannot simplify on top and on the bottom. So in this case, I can cancel out this x plus 6, and I can cancel out this x minus 2. So this is the same as 3 times x minus 5 divided by x plus 3. We can distribute that 3, so this is 3x minus 15 divided by x plus 3. And that's it. I cannot simplify anything else right there. So where x cannot equal 2, negative 6, negative 3, or 2. And that's it for this exercise. For number 2, I'm going to start again. I'm going to start factoring out anything that I can factor. So for example, plus 2, two numbers that you multiply and give 2, and you add and give you 3. Those numbers are x minus 2, x minus 1, minus 1, divided by x plus 2, times x squared minus 36 is a difference of squares, so I can factor as x minus 6, x plus 6. And on my denominator, two numbers that you multiply and give you 6, and you subtract and give you 5. Those are x plus 6, x minus 1. So now, again, I'm going to find my restricted value by equaling to 0 my denominator. X equals negative 2, x plus 6 equals 0, x equals negative 6, and x minus 1 equals 0, x equals 1. So now again, I'm going to simplify whatever I can simplify. So I can cancel out this x minus 1 with this x minus 1, x plus 6, x plus 6. I cannot cancel the x plus 2 with the x minus 2. So this is the same as x minus 2 times x minus 6 divided by x plus 2. I can FOIL, so x squared minus 6x minus 2x minus 12 divided by x. So x squared minus 6x, no, minus 8x plus 12 divided by x plus 2, where x cannot equal 2, negative 6, negative 2, or 1. And that's it for this exercise. Pretty easy. Right. My next exercise, again, I'm going to start by factoring everything that I can factor. If something I cannot factor, I would just keep it like that. In this case, the number that you multiply and give you 6, and you add and give you negative 5, x minus 3, x minus 2. My denominator is another difference of square, so x minus 2, x plus 2 times. Here I can factor that, plus 2, so it's x plus 2, x plus 1 divided by x minus 2, or minus 3, sorry, x minus 3 times x plus 1. Right? So again, I'm going to start by equaling to 0 my denominator, x minus 2. So x 2, x plus 2 equals 0, x negative 2, x minus 3 equals 0, x 3, x plus 1 equals 0, x negative 1. Right? So I can cancel whatever is the same, right? So I have x minus 2, x minus 3, x plus 2, and x. So everything cancel out. So it's equals to 1. So we know that x is equal to 1, where x cannot equal to 2, negative 2, 3, or negative 1. That's it for this exercise. So when I'm dividing fraction, we're going to start by factoring everything else out. So this is x minus 5, x minus 2 divided by x minus 5, x minus 3 divided by, I'm going to factor out that negative first. So if I factor in this step my negative, I'm going to have x squared minus 4. So x plus 2, x minus 2 divided by x plus 6, x minus 3. Right? Keep in mind that right here I have a denominator, and this is very important, right? So those two I have to restrict also from the domain. So x cannot equal to negative 6, x cannot equal to 3. X minus 5 equals 0, so x cannot equal to 5. And I already have the x minus 3 right there. Okay. So now, when I'm dividing fraction, I'm going to use the keep, change, flip, right? So that means that I'm keeping the first fraction. Or before I can flip it, I can simplify this fraction, right? So I have x minus 2 divided by x minus 3. On the other fraction, I don't have anything. So I'm going to change to multiplication. And now I'm going to flip that fraction. So x plus 6, x minus 3. As you can see, I'm taking that on top. And this one on the negative x plus 2, x minus 2. And now I can again simplify anything. But before I simplify, as you can see, I have two new terms on the denominator that I have to restrict also from the denominator. So x plus 2 equals 0, x cannot equal to 2, or x minus 2 equals 0, x cannot equal to positive 2. So now I can cancel whatever I have in common. So at the end, this is the same as negative x plus 6 divided by x plus 2, where x is not equal to negative 6, negative 2, 2, 3, or 5. And that's my exercise right there. Okay, the last one, again, I'm going to start by factoring everything that I can factor. So I'm going to take out the common factor on top, negative 3x. So I have x minus 2 divided by negative. Again, on this step right here, if I take out that negative as a common factor, I have square minus 36. So I have x minus 6, x plus 6 divided by, I can factor out an x right here. So if I factor out the x first, I have x squared minus x minus 2. So my factorization is x times x minus 2 times x plus 1 divided by x minus 6 times x plus 1. In this case, this is two numbers that you multiply and give you 6, and you subtract and give you 5, right? So there are 6 and 1. Again, my restriction right here, so x minus 6 equals 0, x 6, x plus 6 equals 0, x equals negative 6. This x minus 6, I already have it here, so I don't have to do it again. X plus 1 equals 0, x not equal to 1. Right? I'm going to start by simplifying anything that I can simplify on each fraction. So I can simplify this one, and I can simplify those two negative signs right there. So I have 3x times x minus 2 divided by x minus 6, x plus 6. I'm going to change the sign to multiplication, and I'm going to flip my fraction x minus x, or x minus 2, sorry, x minus 2. Now I can simplify or cancel whatever I can cancel. So canceling the x minus 6 with x minus 6, the x minus 2 with x minus 2, and I can cancel even the x, right? But before I continue, I need to equal to 0 those terms, because I have to also restrict those. So x cannot equal to 0, x minus 2 cannot equal to 0, right? So now this is the same as 3 over x plus 6, where x cannot equal to negative 6, 0, 1, 2, or 6. And that is my division of those two fractions.